All right. Good morning. We're going to start doing, this is going to be urinary collection off of the catheter bag. All right, and then I will record the output. Still rolling, yeah, okay. So I'm going to start by, I'm in the patient's room. Hi, Mrs. Jones, or Mr. Jones. My name is Dante. I'm going to perform your collection of urine from your catheter bag. How does that sound? Well enough? Okay, perfect. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go wash my hands and gather my supplies, but before I do go, I just want to make sure I have the right patient. All right, it is you, Mr. Jones. All right. I'll be back. I'm going to go wash my hands, and I've got my supplies. My supplies for this are going to be a barrier for my graduate that I collect from the patient. I'm also going to use another barrier that I'll have this on my countertop when I come back, but I need my graduate too, and I need a set of gloves. So I'll have my set of gloves, a graduate, and one barrier and an alcohol wipe to get started. Okay? So I've come back into the patient's quarter. Hello, Mr. Jones. I'm back. I'm going to start by collecting the urine now. Okay? But what I want to do, since I have my supplies, I'm going to just place my graduate and place my barrier onto the surface of the floor, so that way I can put my graduate on a clean surface. I will have my alcohol wipe and I have my glove so I can get started. What I want to do real fast is close the curtain for privacy, and I'm going to make sure that the bed is high enough so that way the bag is right above my graduate. Okay? The other thing is, this gives me an opportunity for me to first, I want to put on my first set of gloves right now. My set of gloves goes on because I am going to take a look at the bag, and I want to take a look at the tubing. I want to track the tubing. I want to take a look at the tubing, and I want to make sure that the tubing is draining well, okay? Because this is a catheter bag, so it looks like the catheter is draining and there's no kinking. The patient's not lying on it, and that the bag is also hanging and attached to a non-movable part of the bed. All right, so I see all of this looks good, and so now I feel comfortable and confident that whatever is in this bag is not being obstructed. So I can go ahead and take a look at the contents now. So I have the urine in here. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that first off, I'm going to take a look at where this nozzle plug is placed. Is the spout, is it open or is it closed? And it says right here that this spout is closed. I want to make sure it's closed, because if it is open and I pull this nozzle out of the holster, that now there's going to be urine flowing out, and I want to make sure that that is sealed. So it is closed. It did say so, it indicated. So I'm going to pull this out of the holster without touching. Oh, you know what, real fast, I want to prepare my alcohol prep. My alcohol prep pad is now going to be opened up, placed right there for when I do need it. Now, when I pull this holster, the nozzle out of the holster, I can, without touching the inside of the graduate or without touching the nozzle in the graduate itself, I'm going to be careful about that. Open the nozzle, so now the urine is pouring out of the catheter bag. I have now collected all of the urine out of this catheter bag. Again, you might even have to milk a little bit of the urine out of the bag, but it looks like I've collected all of it. I will now go ahead and seal that port. The port has now been sealed, but before I place this back into the holster, I want to get this alcohol prep pad and clean the nozzle and roll it into a little ball and even get inside of that nozzle, because this is going to help prevent the accumulation of microorganisms in that nozzle. Now I can place this back into the holster of the catheter bag. I have my trash here I will take with me. I will also now take the the graduate, and I can take the barrier. This barrier I'm going to place into its trash or its soiled linen container, whichever I've preferred to grab from. And this will go into the trash, my alcohol prep head. I'm going to bring this over to the countertop into the bathroom where I have a flat surface, and I'm going to place my additional barrier, another clean barrier, onto the surface so I can take a look at the urine at eye level. I'm just going to place this content in here. So this is going to be the amount of urine I've collected from the bag. So I've collected this amount of urine from the bag, so I can take a look at what have I collected. And here it does indicate it's above 425 but below 450. What would this content be?
425.
This time
450.
450. We are going to, yes, we're going to round up on the milliliters. And remember, the milliliters are the same thing as cc's. So if this says cc, then that's okay. We can just translate that right over to milliliters, because 450 milliliters is the same thing as 450 cc's, correct? But we're not going to use the ounce side, just the milliliter side. Wonderful. So now I've seen the amount of urine that we have. I can now take this and dispose of this into the toilet. I will place this into its designated soiled linen or the trash container, and then I will go through the steps. Paper towel, turn on the faucet. I will then, rinse this out again, and then turn off the faucet. Get as many paper towels as I need to dry the interior of this graduate, placing this into its designated area, taking off my gloves, washing hands. I'm going to come back over to Mr. Jones. Since I didn't do much with his bed, I left him at lowest level already. He was at lowest level. I collected the bag. I'm going to open curtains. I'm going to go ahead and give you your call light, Mr. Jones. And just to let you know, Mr. Jones, today I've collected 450 milliliters of urine. Right on. You're urinating well. All right. If you need anything, Mr. Jones, go ahead and call me. Use the call light. Have a wonderful day. Skill is complete.